Shikkakumon no Saikyo Kenja is an anime tells a story of a young man named Matthias. Even though he is at a young age, he has marvelous magical power and is the most powerful magician since he is the reincarnation of a legend hermit in the past. He was underrated due to his ill-suited, but at the time he unveiled his power, no one matched him. Bringing up his memories, he intended to keep up his skill and enrolled in a magical academy. He encountered Alma and her friend Luri while he was beating his sword. They were amazed by his beating skill and be friends afterward. Matthias and others took part in the selection of the academy enrollment. The first stage was a test with the sword. Thanks to the sword beaten by Matthias, Luri succeeded and got her victory beating up the assessors. When it came Matthias' turn, everyone could not divert their attention away due to his victory over the Night Chief. The next test was charm utilization. Matthias' sign was considered a powerless sign and was belittled. It turned out his charms produced stronger magical power even though he didn't cast any spell. The people were confused to see his magical skill using his charms without casting a spell. He discovered that mankind's knowledge of magic has drastically deteriorated in this era. The head of the academy admitted his skill in swordsmanship and asked him to deploy his skills and restore the magic without incantation. He had to reassure others that this kind of magic is more powerful by gaining victory in a battle against 3 people from other academies. Due to its rival energy, he noticed that one of his rivals was not a human, yet he could win the battle. Later, he found out that there was a demon in disguise as a student from the first academy. He was carrying out a secret plan to overcome power from everyone. With his great power, Matthias gained his victory. Due to his victory against the demon, the king invited him to the kingdom and rewarded him as a hero. The king offered him authority and part of the kingdom's territory, but he declined. He asked for a space to train himself in the dungeon and use its resources. The king agreed and asked him regarding the matter of the demon's whereabouts. According to him, it was getting dangerous and the demons would rather attack the kingdom rather than hide somewhere else. Preventing the worst, Matthias would build a magic shield in the kingdom. Matthias and his friends examined the dungeon and developed their skills. Soon after, several demons headed to the kingdom. Matthias attacked the strongest among them, while Luri and Alma went after the weaker one. Using his brain and his power, he could win the battle with his friends. Matthias met the king for the second time and asked for another dungeon as his reward, while Luri and Alma would get some money. At the same time, there was a demon who was spying on them. Matthias could sense his presence and attempted to attack him using distant magic. This time, his power was not enough to defeat the demon. Then he tried to locate their whereabouts. He intended to set out by riding the black dragon, which was his friend in the past. Matthias and his friends arrived at their rival's hiding place. Alma wondered if he was a human after seeing him defeat the guards easily. Matthias and his friends prepared to attack the demons, but they used their magical power to hide their location. Matthias broke their charms and Alma aimed for them using her bow and defeated them. Matthias used some sorcerer's stone to find the other demons. The demon appeared and attacked him. He pretended to lose and take the attack to analyze his rival's power. After finding out about his rival's power, he proceeded with a counterattack and defeated him. After that, they returned to the academy and asked the black dragon to study there since he could alter into a human. The first and the second academy often got in conflict and his plan to make the shield didn't run well. Matthias advised them to redo the battle where the loser team must obey the winning team. The first academy agreed to the condition but prevented Matthias to take part in the battle. The first academy prepared its best and brought its best students in great numbers, while the second academy appointed 5 students with weak assumed magical signs. The battle ended with the victory of the second academy, but the first academy didn't accept their loss. The head of the first academy asked Iris, who was considered an ordinary girl, to take on the battle. He didn't aware that Iris was an extraordinary student. Beforehand, the king had commanded all students to quit the charm incantation. The head of the first academy was arrested because he didn't obey the rule. Finally, the students of the first academy agreed to help the other one to build a great magic shield. They also would learn the magic charm without incantation. To make the shield work, they needed sorcerer's stone from the monsters. Matthias and his friends intended to call the monster with great power and defeated them to take their stone. They called an incredibly powerful monster and had to defeat him with all of their power. At last, they defeated him using the magic trap and took his stone. At the time when the shield was completed, the real battle would happen and it meant that Matthias would leave the academy. When he struggled to build the shield, there was a strong magical reaction above the academy. Luri, Alma, the teachers, and other students prepared themselves to fight. The demon appeared and attacked them. They struggled to defeat him. They needed the creator magic attack and Alma's arc attack. They could defeat him using the powerful joint attack. It turned out the demon had called his troops and filled the room with great numbers. At that time, Matthias appeared and finished off the demons. The magic-powered shield had been successfully built to protect the kingdom. It was not over yet. A group of monsters appeared and attacked them, but they were caught in a trap that had been set beforehand. The second wave of attack came. Matthias and his friends fought back and defeated them. Unpredictably, the monsters joined their body and turned into giant monster. It had great power and only Matthias could knock it out. Matthias and his friends decided to leave the academy and the city. By their great contribution, the head of the academy awarded them the best students and offered them help in any case they needed. They set off, and their destination was a dungeon called Melchias. It was a great dungeon with a town above it. They assumed it was a safe place, but it turned out they were false. The first thing done was to join the Adventurer Union. Matthias meant to take part in the union even though he was belittled over and over. The situation was worrisome, so he used healing charms to recover the casualties. It was the first time for them to sleep in one place together. This was a little bit hard to control for teenagers in their puberty. Matthias and Luri couldn't sleep well. The next morning, they stepped into the dungeon and surprised the Union after defeating the most powerful monster. Because Matthias didn't take part in the battle, the people assumed he was a weak healer, while the three young women with him had monster-like strength. They informed the ruler and had Matthias caught. He pretended weak and gave all charge to Iris. After talking to the king's messenger, Matthias and his friends would arrest the ruler. They succeeded in arresting the ruler, but suddenly, there was a big shock. It turned out a group of monsters was coming after them. According to Matthias, it was caused by the demon who was stalking the dragon pillars, so that attracted monsters to come. They needed to stop the fire inside the dragon pillar in the dungeon to overcome it. They split up and ran their errands. Luri took charge to recover the dragon pillar, while others had to stop the monsters from entering the dungeon. Matthias had to fight with the demon protecting that place. Even though it was troublesome, he finally defeated the demon and stopped the monsters and demons from coming to them. Matthias and his friends overtook the demons in Melchias, but they got problems afterward. It seemed that the demon they had defeated was on an errand from another demon who recognized Matthias before his reincarnation. Matthias talked to the head of the academy and asked for help from the king. After receiving a letter from the king, Matthias and his friends were back on their journey to the Alliance country. Their journey was getting harder since they had to enter a forbidden territory which only advanced adventurers could enter. They had to take the test to level up their rank. The king ordered the Union to help Matthias and his friends. An advanced adventurer named Giaz would be the assessor. He passed Matthias's friends before the test started and would face Matthias. Before they started, Giaz told him that he couldn't use magic and only had great skill to fight. But Matthias sensed he had a great magic spirit inside him which he didn't realize. He held himself so that Giaz could bring out his ability. Matthias and his friends were attacked by a group of people on the borderline. The guards in that city were sealed with a secret code. They thought this place was ruled by demons. Luri also sensed the presence of demons everywhere, which meant that everyone in the city was demons who were in disguise. Matthias said they were the demons' tribe. They couldn't use magic, but they liked to colonize and fight together. They entered the city through a secret path. After arriving at the town, they were surprised to see the citizens and the venturers who lost their minds due to mind distraction charms from the demons' tribe. They decided to investigate further by pretending losing their mind. They found out that the demons used the citizens' strength to build a massively destructive weapon. Most of the demons centered their activities in the heart of the town, so they needed to destroy all of them. They carried out their plan by making chaos and giving them blow attacks. Iris was in charge as bait, and others were hiding and struck one by one. Finally, they destroyed them and released the town from their power. The citizens soon gained their consciousness, and Giaz appointed one of them as the head of the town. Matthias and his friends continued their journey and arrived at an ancient ruin. It was an amenity built before reincarnation. There were properties in his relic. Some of them were shameful, and he was regret for not throwing them away. He continued his work to search for the demon who controlled all demons. It was a malicious demon that almost destroyed human civilization. It was sealed, but no one could destroy it. The rise of its leader created a great magic reaction that all students of the Magic Academy could sense. Alma and Luri arrived at the academy and intended to take an ancient weapon in the armory at the kingdom. Soon, the sky turned red and a portal appeared before Matthias. He attempted to seal it, but no result. Iris attacked it using the dragon breath attack, but it didn't affect the leader of the demon at all. Matthias was no match for his rival, but he intended to buy some time until they got the magic weapon. Luri and Alma were searching for it and planned to hand it to Matthias once they got it. But their plan got discovered by the demon's leader so that he restored a demon to live to stop their action. Matthias was struggling to defend himself from the attack and protect the kingdom at the same time. He couldn't go back to the past and let him destroy the present civilization. All of his friends trusted him and he would be willing to fight for it. On the other hand, Luri and Alma defeated the demon sent for them with the help of other students and sealed him. Matthias' attack had no effect at all, and when he got the magic sword, he was struck with a deadly attack and died, but he had calculated. He sacrificed himself to raise the greatest power. With that enormous power, he had to control it to get to the right target. Finally, the most powerful demon had successfully defeated. Luri ran and hugged him tight. Her tears came because she was worried about his condition. The head of the academy declared there were no casualties and less some damage in this accident. Matthias and his friend got a reward from the king after saving the kingdom. After receiving the prize, Matthias and his friends continued their journey. And the story is over here. What do you think about the anime we discussed? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel by activating the bell to receive notifications for the next video. Here on Storyline and I'm thank you.